Hey, it's Aaron, the Metal Theologian. Well, fucking hell of a night. Spencer got sick and puked all over the couch, and my wife is out, so I was all set to start recording a video and fucking had to clean up puke instead, so probably not the only one who's been there, but I'm gonna do this soda tonight. I might have done this one before, but right now I don't give a shit, because I feel like I deserve this. This is a really fucking good one. I think Garen might have turned me on to this one, actually. Garen, we miss you. I don't know why your videos are gone, but come back soon if you're watching this. Anyway, this is Oh So Butterscotch Root Beer. And I'm pretty sure I've done it before. If I haven't, it's great anyway. Shit. Just so well balanced, that thing, man. First time I had it, the butterscotch would overpower the root beer flavor, but it's still distinctively root beer, but has the really distinct butterscotch flavor too. It's just a really nice fucking balance. So yeah, so it's kind of been a rough couple weeks because the little one was sick before this, but things are going better otherwise. I actually went to Papa Jazz and got some shit last week. Sorry, I needed that. Also, I got a couple things in the mail, and just got a few things in here that I've been playing, so I'll just fucking bust them out, get right into it. So the one we're listening to right now is by Ciruela, band from Mexico. It's fucking, well, I'll let you listen, but I think it's fucking fantastic. It's just a fucking heavy rock record. It was originally on RAF. This one is a reissue from about 10, 15 years ago. Actually, probably from the early 2000s, now that I'm thinking about it. So we're like 15. This kind of sketchy label called La Onda. But yeah, they did about 6 releases, and it's weird because some of them are almost like bubblegummy. On one of them, they changed the cover really drastically. And then this one's like this really heavy one. They're all worth a listen, man, just because you don't come across a whole lot of Mexican shit. And there's so many great Mexican hard rock bands. Yeah, it looks like it's actually hand-numbered, too. I didn't even notice that. Fuck. There you go. You can kind of make that out. Doesn't matter. Anyway. Fucking Grupo Ciruela. So here's some of the shit I got at Papa Jazz. I'm kind of going to whip through this because I don't even know if I feel like talking about the jazz right now, but I'll show it off anyway just for grins. I'll give you a little tip, too, okay? You probably come across this series, right? These really cheesy-looking Arista ones that look like the worst of the 70s, and a lot of times they have cut corners and shit. This is how they repackaged some shit that came out on this Freedom label in Europe, though. I guess Arista got them and kind of did some cheesy repackaging and released them like this in the States. And a lot of these are fucking fantastic. Actually, the guy at Papa Jazz turned me onto this shit, so I've kind of been snapping these up. So this Dave Burrell one is, I mean, he's a piano player, so it's definitely piano focused. This is a really cool blendo of styles. I mean, he gets kind of far out. It's funny, like, someone wrote on here for side 3, free and wild a la Cecil Taylor. It's actually nowhere near as, like, intense and percussive and sort of hard as Cecil Taylor, but it's out enough for me. But on the other hand, like, side 1 is this West Side Story medley, and I look at that and go, fuck if I want to hear that shit. But it's really nice, man. The playing is just cool. He just approaches it like, you know, a standard. And it's, you know, obviously it's West Side Story shit, but it's a really modern interpretation. You know, it's not like crazy free, but it's like, it's not like another fucking hard bop version of the shit. So, very highly recommended record. This is another one I got because it's in the same series. I'm not going to talk about it much. I haven't really digested it yet, but this is Duets by Marion Brown. And Marion Brown's awesome, sax player. Hung out with Coltrane a lot. It's with Elliot Schwartz and Leo Smith. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say, so I won't just make shit up. This record was kind of interesting. This is Jack DeJohnette. Kind of a cool looking one. Actually, it looks really cool. It's on Milestone. There's a second solo album, I guess, and it has Benny Maupin and Gary Peacock and Hideo Ichikawa, whom I don't know, but yeah, you know, I put this on when I got home. I was like, man, this is a fucking piece of shit. It's boring. It's crap. But I put it on today after I put on the next one. I kind of liked it, man. It's kind of growing on me. It kind of vibes. It's not in as nice condition as I thought, so it's kind of part of it. But it's kind of a little bit drony and kind of meditative that way. And at first, I just thought it was boring. But when I listened to it again, it kind of like what he was up to kind of started to sink in a little bit more. I have his first solo album. I wasn't really crazy about that one either, like a reissue of it. So I don't know. I might have to give him another chance. I'm not gonna sit here and recommend it real strongly. I'll tell you what though, I fucking found this record, right? I was like, okay, Steve Kuhn, he's been on some pretty good records. Fucking, it's him and Steve Swallow on bass, Jackie Jeanette on drums. Fine side band. And then someone else on percussion, Sue Evans, whom I don't know, but it's 1975 ECM. I was like, well, take a chance. It fucking sucks, man. This thing's a goddamn piece of shit. And you know something? I'm about ready to throw my hands up over ECM. So, fucking, all you other guys who, like, are into jazz records, you don't watch my videos anyway. But, fucking, this ECM shit, I just don't get it. I think it's fucking idolatry. I really, people are like, oh, ECM, this and that. Fucking, I can count on one hand the good ECM records I've heard. And I don't doubt that there are more out there. But I swear to Christ, from now on, I think I'm just gonna, unless I have a specific reason to buy that record, I'm gonna stay away from anything ECM because I've just gotten bit one too many times, man. They all just fucking suck, man. Like a good ECM record is like a 4 out of 10. And they're usually cheap. It's not like I paid a lot for that one. It was like $5, but it's just piddly fucking nonsense, this record. It's just fucking dicking around. It's smooth and like not smooth like Kenny G. That'd be like a 0 out of 10. Okay, so I'm not gonna slag it quite that hard, but it's boring. It just sounds trite. When it's groovy, it's like groovy and like kind of sort of precious, like not really funky kind of mid-70s way, like when the disco thing was getting ready to happen. Kind of sounding like 75 in a bad way, not like a good 75 record, but yeah. And then fucking shit like Trance is just boring. And then he fucking says some dumb shit I don't care about on Life's Backward Glance. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about because I didn't bother to listen, but I don't give a shit when I hear someone saying like, blah, 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 like he's reading a goddamn poem or something. He can pretty much fuck it off. And that's what Steve Kuhn can do. And that's what the whole goddamn ECM label can do. I'm done. So this one's really good. This is on Muse. I actually got this on the strength of who's on it. I'd never heard of the Creative Construction Company. But aside from the fact that it's an awesome looking cover, it has Mahal Richard Abrams on it, and Anthony Braxton, and Leo Smith from the Chicago crew. Really good free jazz shit. Not as free as I expected it to be. It's definitely free as far as the approach, but it's not as like aggressive as I expected it to be. It's really listenable and just, I don't know, man, just a really fucking cool record. This is volume 2. Maybe I'll find volume 1 someday, but that was a nice little surprise. I've talked about not really getting Pharoah Sanders, and it's kind of growing on me. Someone who I get more than I get Pharoah Sanders, but I'm still not quite all the way there with, is Archie Shepp. I like his records. I don't think I've heard an Archie Shepp record where I was like, oh, this is just crap. I enjoy Archie Shepp records, but I haven't like really found them to be like profound the way I have like an Albert Ayler or Sun Ra or John Coltrane, obviously. So I snagged a couple more just for the hell of it because they were cheap. There's a reissue of Mama Too Tight, which, I enjoyed. Haven't really digested that one yet, though. This one, though, I actually stayed on my turntable for a couple days. I like this one a lot. 4 for Train. I actually hesitated because I didn't want to just hear him do Coltrane songs, but the interpretations are just really fucking good. And then there's one original on here, too. The interpretation, it doesn't sound like he's aping Coltrane. He's doing his own thing. I recognize the tunes from Coltrane. But it's just awesome, man. This is a really good record. So my hat is off to Archie Shepp. This is a really early record of his. So I also have Fire Music. I'll have to listen to that and have a couple of the big Act 2L ones. So maybe it's coming for me, I'll tell you someone else that I really kind of started to appreciate, who I used to think was just shit, and that's Dave Brubeck. The stuff is very light, very kind of soft, but I've really come to appreciate his style. I used to just think he was fucking crap, just like boring shit. But there's a lot going on in there, you know what I mean? It's subtle, he's not in your face, but he works for me on the same level that Jimmy Jeffries' more mellow stuff works. Now, you listen to a record like Free Fall or something like that of his, that's a different story. But like, I like this as much as that Jimmy Jafree 3 record. Maybe this one is even more listenable because it's not quite as challenging, but just solid, man. This is relatively cheap there. So I just took a chance, and I'm glad I did. I actually liked it so much that I went out locally and got another one, which also is kind of a crappy cover, really, but it's another early 50s one. It's just a really fun record to listen to. It's a great middle of the night record is what it is, Like I'm hanging out, it's after midnight, I'm not ready to go to bed yet, fucking listen to a little Brubeck. Doesn't mean it puts me to sleep, although I have fallen asleep listening to Brubeck before, but I'll fall asleep listening to fucking, Slayer too, so that doesn't really mean anything. One thing that's funny, on one of the songs in here he actually quotes Monk, and his touch is so different from Thelonious Monk. Like hearing him play the same notes just sounds bizarre. It actually kind of made me laugh a little bit. So a couple of the jazz ones I got at Papa Jazz, but I'll kind of abridge it. I did find one Rockwell though, and I was fucking stoked to find this. This is the second 3-Man Army record, and it's fucking awesome. It's actually better than I expected it to be. It's fantastic. I like the first record a lot. I had heard somewhere that the second one wasn't as good, but this is a good hard rock record. It's not any mellower than the first one. You know how a lot of these 70s bands, they make a heavy first record and they kind of wuss out on their second record? Like Bang did that really kind of spectacularly. And I like that second record. It's just not like that first Bang, which is fucking stellar, It's a different kind of sound. This still has a 3-Man Army sound that I really like, and I dug the shit out of this. This is fucking awesome. Here's another one. Actually, I just pulled this one out. I've had this for a long time, but I actually saw that Big Star 1000 guy was talking about this thing. White Noise, an Island record from '69. It's like some early electronic sort of soundscape shit. You know what this kind of sounds like to me? It sounds like what the Residents could have been if they had been about 5 years earlier and had kind of sucked. Because, this has some really cool parts on it, but, man, it has some really shitty parts, too. And mostly it's just the singers. It's there's, the electronics are, colored, sort of on some of the Residents shit. And I like that color, you know what I mean? And they'll start doing something really cool, but then there's just some fucking, hippie bullshit singing over it, you know what I mean? There have been some sound effects of, people fucking and shit. I have no patience for that on record, man. I just think that's the hokiest fucking thing. It ruins all of Black Flag's Slip It In record for me. I don't even own that thing anymore because I can't listen to it because that spoils it, And fucking, that's in the middle of side one on this thing, too. I don't know, maybe that was a good idea once, but it seems hokey to me, man. What fucking many things the boomers kind of fucked up. Anyway, this is a really good one. There's another one from Uruguay, actually. This is sort of a predecessor band to Dias de Blues that I showed last time. And I actually came across this in the wild. It's not an original, it's a World and Sound reissue, but I grabbed it. I remember I kind of gnashed my teeth at the time because it wasn't the headspace I was in, but I was like, but I've got to fucking get it because if I don't get it, I'm going to regret it. God damn it. But, I had to fucking take the covers off the couch from the dishwasher, and all the down is itching my nose. I'm like, God, this shit. Fuck, So, I have to excuse me. I'm actually over that fucking cold I was fighting. Just shit. It's not actual piece of shit, man. That would really suck. Anyway, Opus Alpha. This is pretty good. It's also pretty bluesy. It's even a little bluesier than the Dias de Blues one, I think. But it's still totally in the rock realm, and a really good record, so I'm glad I did the right thing back when I came across it, because I knew I'd regret it if I didn't, and I was right. Here are actually a couple that I got for free. I usually don't show stuff that I got for free, because usually what happens... Oh shit, actually, I got these out of order. Alright, well here's one more that I got at Papa Jazz. This was actually $1. I was like, this has got to be fucking destroyed if it's $1. It's actually not. There's some marks on it, but this fucking early 60s vinyl, man, I cleaned it up. It plays nicely. I would have coughed at $20 for a reissue of this fucker. So that was a nice score. I love these Cannonball Adderley records, man. I really do. And with Yusef Lateef on this one, it's a nice record, man. Fucking enjoyed it a lot. Here are a couple I got for free. This one actually I got because a friend of my wife's had a bunch of records she needed to get rid of, and I went and looked through it. It was basically thrift store shit. I mean, I took it to the thrift store for it because I don't need that shit in my house. There are a few in there that was Brooke Benton records and shit like that. It's they're not bad, but I don't need that in my fucking house, But this one I did take because I kind of recently discovered Herbie Mann, And even though I kind of balked a little bit because it's arranged and conducted by Oliver Nelson, and usually the orchestra is kind of a bad sign, the cover kind of made me say, hey, you know, you really should give this a chance. I gotta say, man, I enjoyed it a lot. Now, I only listened to side 1, and side 2 is half taken up by Beatles covers. Okay? So, we'll see. And maybe I just will never play side 2 and then I can continue to enjoy this record. Or maybe he actually did something with the Beatles covers I'll be able to stand to listen to. Doesn't happen often, but actually I can't think of a single fucking Beatles cover I can stomach anymore. But I don't know, man. I like Herbie, man. What can I say? He's fucking cheeseball. He shows terrible songs a lot of the time, but man, he made some really good records. Here's another one. This one's pretty trashed, but this is a different friend of mine. Same deal. He brought this shit by. I was like, man, take it to the thrift store. It's useless. But I did keep this one because it's kind of hard to find, and it's fucking really good. Yeah, this is one of the Sesame Street ones you see around a lot. That first one you do. And I will take a moment to bring your attention. This actually features Matt Robinson, who was the original Gordon. Now, the guy who most of us associate with Gordon on that show was a guy named Roscoe something. I can't remember. He was Gordon from like 73 or 74, basically. Probably till the present, if it's still on. But he had a pretty awesome mustache. Matt Robinson was the dude who had the fucking awesome mustache and the awesome sideburns. And I guess Roosevelt Franklin was kind of his character. I actually do remember him from when I was a kid, but he wasn't on much. It was probably like reruns, because I would have come like right when it switched. I probably would have come right around second Gordon time, who was on for like one season. But anyway, yeah, so I've got a couple more here, but I gotta flip that fucking record first, so. Yeah, I'm not in the kind of mood where I'm willing to tough it out with any fucking music, so I'm taking a sip of this shit too. Yeah, I mean, Sesame Street records are always cool to look at. You know, I have a copy of that first one with the book in it, where Oscar the Grouch is still orange and shit. And you come across them once in a while. Usually they're expensive because people are trying to get it. I don't know who actually pays $20 for a Sesame Street record, but... because I'm not going to listen to it. If you get something like that for your kids, the problem is they're going to want to listen to it. They're going to make you play it over and over and fucking over, right? So you're going to hate it by the end. I mean, that's what happened with that other one that I have, right? So, but I don't know, man. The Roosevelt Franklin one's a little bit special. Alright, so up next. It's funny, you probably can't hear this guitar shit anymore, but I can, and I'm enjoying it. So a couple brand new reissues that I've been keeping an eye out for, also from another band from Uruguay. It's funny, I'm going nuts with the Uruguay shit. But this is like a classic, like prog band, and these are actually still sealed. I haven't even cracked them yet, so I'm just showing them off. But this is the first record by Psy Glow. Excuse me. Called Ideación. And just look at that fucking cover, man. How could I not buy that? It's from Uruguay and it looks like this. And it's from like 73. And look at these fucking guys, man. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking that one out. I also went ahead and got both because I've read shit about them in different places and people seem to disagree over whether the first one or the second one's better. So hey, I had to get both. So this is the second one, which was actually recorded in 74 but didn't come out until the early 80s because like the fucking... like most South American countries, they got a fucking military dictatorship in place for a while and couldn't get it released until they fucking left, fucking probably US backed, you know? Anyway, fucking Psy Glow I'm stoked about. And finally, last but definitely not least, this is the motherfucker of the video coming up. I actually kind of coughed up for this one. It's been a while since I've gotten a record of this magnitude, but I think I got a very fair price on this thing. And that is this bad boy. Ooh yeah! And look at this. Check this shit out. That motherfucker is sealed. Look at that shit. Actually, there's a price tag on there too. An old one. Someone paid 93 cents for this once upon a time. I don't know if I can bring it into focus. You can't really make it out. So anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to spinning this one too, man. I might leave it sealed for a little while just to sort of savor its sealedness. But you know, it's gonna get cracked and it's gonna get played. And yeah, this is an awesome fucking record. I mean, y'all have probably sampled this. This is obviously not the Survivor from, you know, that had those hits. I think were Canadian. These guys were from, I think, Shreveport, Louisiana. They just made this one record, Private Press. It's like 79 or 80, something like that. And it's right, yeah, it's 79. It's right sort of on the cusp where it's like, you know, still has its feet pretty firmly rooted in the 70s. You know, kind of has a guitar playing style. It's very 70s, but it's sort of looking ahead towards the 80s from the heaviness standpoint. So it's probably going to get filed in metal. It's not really a metal record, but it's kind of close enough the way that Sorcery Stunt Rock is, you know. So, or Amulet is another one. So anyway, that's what I've got today. Thanks for watching. Yeah, and we'll see, man. Hopefully I'll fucking start doing this a little bit more regularly, but what can I say? I've been really bad about commenting. I've been watching a lot of videos on my TV, so if we're in touch, I've probably been watching, even if I haven't been leaving comments, but it's just, fucking, I started a new job, so I can't, like, dick around at work like I used to. So, anyway, take care, till next time.